If poverty had a president, chairman, and press secretary, Boma would hold all three titles proudly. He wore poverty the way some men wore designer suits, with confidence and a matching smile. In Umuaka, everybody knew Boma. He was tall, lean, and always had that mischievous grin that made you wonder if he had just heard the funniest joke on earth. Boma lived in a one-room apartment with a zinc roof that sang louder than church choirs whenever it rained. He called it free music from heaven, boasting that no rich man's house could compete with such natural entertainment. His bed squeaked as if it was protesting life, and his most expensive property was a plastic chair with a cracked back. He introduced it to visitors as Italian design, warning them not to lean too hard unless they wanted to land on the floor. Every evening, Boma became the Minister of Poverty Affairs under the big mango tree near Mama Peace's shop. There, he preached his gospel: poverty is peace of mind, my people. No kidnappers, no enemies, no sleepless nights. When you are broke, even witches avoid you. The Mango Tree Committee, a mix of jobless Okada riders, a barber with no customers, and an aging tailor, nodded in agreement, sipping sachet gin like Holy Communion. Boma spoke with so much confidence that you would think being broke was a divine calling. To him, every rich man was a thief, a ritualist, or both. Every poor man was holy, peaceful, and safe. And in Umuaka, Boma was king of this philosophy, carrying his crown of lac like it was pure gold. But life was waiting to test his gospel in ways he never imagined. One hot afternoon in Umuaka, when the sun was frying the village square like plantain oil, a strange thing happened under the famous mango tree. A shiny black SUV drove slowly into the dusty road, the kind of car that made people stop mid-sentence. Okada men forgot their passengers, women fetching water from the stream froze, even the goats chewing banana leaves lifted their heads in surprise. The tinted glass slid down, and out stepped Chica, Boma's childhood friend. Once upon a time, Boma and Chica had chased grasshoppers together, stolen mangoes from the same tree, and shared the same dream of never becoming slaves to money. But here was Chica, dressed in a spotless white senator outfit, gold wristwatch glittering, shoes shining like mirror. He looked like Lagos itself had dressed him that morning. "Boma, my brother!" Chica shouted with joy, walking over to hug him. Boma leaned back on his famous cracked plastic chair, eyes squinting suspiciously. "Chica, you still remember us poor people?" he said slowly, like a man meeting someone just released from prison. The Mango Tree Committee laughed. Chica explained he now owned a small business in the city and needed someone trustworthy to handle accounts and deliveries. The pay was good, the work was simple, and he even offered to pay Boma's first-year rent in town. But Boma raised his hand like a traffic warden. "My friend, don't use me for ritual. I like my two eyes closed when I sleep." The mango tree exploded in laughter, but Chica's face fell. He tried again, but Boma shook his head, preaching, "Money brings enemies. Poverty is peace of mind." That day, something cracked in the Mango Tree Kingdom. 2 weeks later, the Mango Tree Kingdom woke up to real-life drama. It was early morning in Umuaka when Boma's youngest niece, Amarachi, came running barefoot, tears streaming down her face. "Uncle Boma! Uncle Boma! Mama has fainted!" she screamed. Boma jumped up so fast his famous cracked chair nearly gave up its last breath. His mother, Mama Boma, was a strong woman who never complained about anything. If she fainted, the matter was serious. He rushed to her small mud house where neighbors were fanning her with pieces of cardboard, some shouting, "Bring palm oil," others shouting, "Fetch water." Boma didn't wait for arguments. "We must take her to the hospital now," he barked. But then the question came like a slap. With what money? Boma had no savings. His entire bank account could not buy a proper lunch in the city, let alone pay a hospital deposit. Still, he flagged down an Okada, bundled his mother, and headed to the only decent clinic in town. At the front desk, the nurse didn't even look up when she said, "Deposit is 50,000 naira before the doctor attends to her." 50 what? Boma almost choked. "Can't you start small? I can pay 2,500 now, then balance the rest, maybe next year." The nurse simply called the next patient. And there, in that hot clinic hallway, reality slapped Boma so hard his ears rang. All his years of preaching poverty is peace melted like butter in the sun. Poverty couldn't buy medicine. Poverty couldn't save Mama. For the first time, Boma felt naked without money. One name flashed through his mind: Chica. That same afternoon, Boma swallowed his pride like bitter medicine and marched straight to Chica's compound. The gate alone looked richer than his entire life savings. He knocked, and when Chica appeared with a cup of tea in his hand, Boma's voice cracked. "Chica, Mama is in the hospital. They said 50,000 before they touch her. Please, help me." Chica didn't waste time. He didn't lecture. He didn't mock. He simply disappeared inside, returned with a brown envelope, and pressed it into Boma's hand. "Take it. Don't pay back." "And Boma," Chica said softly, "poverty is not peace of mind. It is just silent suffering." Boma said nothing. His throat burned as he hurried back to the hospital. Mama got treatment, and within days, she was recovering. But something inside Boma was breaking. The man he had mocked as a ritualist was the one who saved his mother's life while all his poverty philosophy had stood useless like a broken chair. A week later, Chica called him again. "Boma, take this small delivery job. Flexible hours. Good pay. No stress." Boma resisted at first, but the memory of that hospital bill haunted him like a stubborn mosquito. He finally agreed. At first, he kept it secret. He avoided the mango tree committee, taking long routes home so they wouldn't see him wearing Chica's neat blue shirt and official ID card. But secrets have short legs. One afternoon, Marzi Ike and Sunday, the Okada man, caught him returning from a delivery run. "Ah, Chairman Boma, Minister of Poverty Affairs, riding powerbike for rich man." Sunday laughed till tears ran down his face. By evening, the whole mango tree committee was waiting to roast him alive. That evening in Umuaka, the mango tree turned into a courtroom. As soon as Boma arrived from his delivery run, the laughter began. Even Mama Peace left her frying pan to hear the drama. "Make way," shouted Marzi Ike, standing like a town crier. "Here comes the former Minister of Poverty Affairs, now personal assistant to the Rich Man's Club." The crowd roared. Someone added, "Boma the deliverance rider, delivering goods and his poverty crown at the same time." Even the goats passing by stopped as if to hear the judgment. Boma tried to defend himself. "My people, life is not as simple as you think. This job is only temporary. I am still the same Boma." But they didn't let him finish. Sunday, the Okada man, raised his sachet gin like a microphone. "Temporary. So the man who preached poverty is peace of mind, is now working for big man Chica. Wonders shall never end." The mango tree nearly collapsed from laughter. Boma forced a smile, but inside, something had shifted forever. Each evening, the crowd grew smaller. One by one, the old committee members joined Chica's projects, managing the borehole, sewing uniforms for scholarship kids, running errands. Even the two old men who used to nod true talk during Boma's poverty sermons were now nodding at Chica's gate, carrying bags of cement for his new building. By the year's end, Boma had moved out of his leaking room into a clean one with a ceiling fan. His slippers no longer slapped the ground like broken wings, and for the first time in his life, he bought curtains. One night, lying under the cool fan breeze, Boma sighed deeply. "Poverty," he whispered, "is not peace of mind. It is slow poison." Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out other interesting stories on my page. See you in my next video. Thanks for watching.